Hi guys, welcome back to Moto Curves and Curls. It's your girl Amanda, aka Vixen, and in today's video we are going to talk about how to start a motorcycle club. That's what I have been doing for these last couple of months why I have not been putting out any videos. So I want to share my experience with you right now. Let's get going, and if you are new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, put that thumbs up, and make a comment, and let's get going. I am going to give you a couple of steps of how to start your own motorcycle club. So let's get going with a few little things you're going to need before you even actually get out the gate and start to run. So let's start with that. The first thing you're going to want to start with is making sure you have a great support system. You need a great support system because this is a very stressful thing. It's really hard and it's a very long process. So you're going to need that support system. The next thing you're going to want in place is you're going to need bodies. And what I mean by that is you're going to need other fellow bikers that share your same passion and willing to go on that journey with you. And typically you're going to need about 5 members, and I'm going to explain a little bit later. So once you have that, you kind of, bouncing ideas, brainstorming of names and stuff like that, but you got to know where to start. First thing is start jotting things down, your ideas, your thoughts, names, logo, everything. Start putting it on a piece of paper and writing it and making sure everybody that you have come to or people that are coming with you along this journey is all on the same page. So let's get going with step number 1. Step number 1 is forming the actual club itself. Again, like I said previously, you're going to at least have 5 members, including yourself. That is the president, vice president, sergeant of arms, secretary, and treasurer. Those are your 5 main people you're going to need to start a motorcycle club. Step number 2, when forming a club, now you have to decide, do you want to do a motorcycle club or a riding club? There are 2 main differences between both. A motorcycle club has really formal bylaws, rules, regulations. They have more structure, more demand. They are very well infrastructure from the inside on out, versus a riding club that also has rules and regulations and bylaws. They are more free structured. They're more of the bikers that just want to get out and ride and have fun. Motorcycle clubs do the same thing, but it's just a little bit more structured. I have been in both, so I know a lot about both of them. And to be honest with you, as of right now, I'm actually enjoying being in a motorcycle club versus a riding club. And maybe in another video, I will explain why. Step number 3, the purpose. What is your purpose of this club? Whether it's a riding club or a motorcycle, you need to have a purpose. What is the purpose? What is your main purpose of forming a motorcycle club? So is it just to fellowship, to ride, to meet new people? What is it? It could be charity work. It could be supporting veterans. There's a group called ABATE, and ABATE does a lot of safety and motorcycle safety and riding and stuff like that. There's even a club out there that protect motorcycles against child abuse. They go out and they help and they support children of abuse. So there's different clubs. You got veterans clubs, Christian clubs, you name it, there's clubs. So you got to know your purpose before you even get started. Now it's on to number 4 is, what are you going to allow? What are your rules and regulations? So are you going to be an all male group, which is your typical MC club or riding club? Or are you going to do co-ed? Or are you going to just form an all females motorcycle club? Those are different things you're going to have to discuss. And then moving on from there is the rules. Are you strictly street bikes? Are you strictly Harley Davidson bikes? Or do you have rules where you have to have a 600cc or higher engine to be able to be in your club? And what is your riding style? How are you going to ride? Your riding formation? What are your rides like? Are you going to do long rides, short rides, overnight rides? All those things need to be hashed out before moving forward. For example, are you doing charities? Do you do donations? Do you help your community? Are you LGBTQ? Those are all different things you got to have put out in place. For example, we are a co-ed. We take all bikes that are 600 cc's or more. We don't care the type of bike you have. As long as you can ride and keep up, you can join. So those are different rules and regulations you're going to have to discuss. Step number 5, and I kind of briefly talked about it. You got to come up with a patch and a logo in your colors. Those are very important before you even move on, because you cannot, and I'm telling you from experience, you do not want the same color as like a 1% club in your local area, unless you are going to go under as a support, which I will talk about later. But come up with a color, and you're going to have to come up with an image that represents you as a group, as a whole. Come up with all these things, because you're going to need to know the meaning behind that, because when you start bringing in prospects, they're going to need to know in your bylaws what is the meaning of your patch. Why did you pick those colors? Why did you pick that name? Those are things you're going to want to put in your bylaws, and you're going to want to have that foundation ready to go. Step number 6 is getting out there and introducing yourself to all other MCs in your local area. Get a feel for them, how they interact, be respectful, introduce yourself and fellowship with them and start networking with them. In our case, we knew a couple of people in the motorcycle community because we have been riding for over 8 years. And it was easy for us to get out there and know about bike nights and different biker events to get us out there ready, to move. All right, number 7, now that you have kind of got a feel for MCs and started networking and talking to people, now you got to find your dominant motorcycle club. So whatever is in your state, whatever the dominant motorcycle club is in that state, is who you need to now go to and have a sit down with them and have them give you a blessing before you could put any patch on your back. And I'm going to repeat this. You cannot just say, I am creating a motorcycle club, whether it's an RC or an MC, slap a little design on your back of your vest and call yourself a motorcycle club that will get you in some serious hot water with local MCs, and especially any dominant MC, and especially if you decide to leave out the state with other MCs in other states. That is a big no. And I promise you this, know your motorcycle etiquette, because that is a big no. So you have to sit down with a dominant motorcycle club in your area, and you have to get the blessing before you can even go any further in this process. All right, the next step. Now you got the blessing from the dominant club. Now what do? Now it's time to take that name, take that patch, and start registering with the state. Yes, register with the state for a nonprofit organization, because you are now a business. Now, people don't realize that when people start motorcycle clubs, they think, oh, it's just a club and oh, you do this and this. No, it's now a business. So you have to treat it as such. It is a business with contracts, and you got to register with the state. It does cost money. And once you do that, you now need to turn around and probably register within your county or parish, depending on where you live. Another thing you also have to think about and discuss is the 501c to become a nonprofit organization and be able to accept donations. Again, that comes with a cost. The next thing is getting liability insurance. So if anything were to happen, whether it's at a bike night or a motorcycle accident, you are now covered because you have liability insurance. So those are things that you have to consider at this step. You got all the logistics of that together. You registered with the state. You're already set to go. You got your name, you got your logo and stuff like that. Now let's try to find somebody who can make those patches and sew those patches on. And that's going to take a while and take time, and which is a kind of a good thing, because while even though you might have got a blessing, you just can't come out and start wearing and rocking your hard colors or your vest if you don't know the term of hard colors. So you just can't walk out from a meeting and say, yeah, you are blessed, and just walk out with your vest on. That's not how it works. You got to go on probation. You got to put in the work. You got to earn that patch. By earning that patch, you got to listen to what people are telling you. Whether the Dominant Club is telling you, you need to go to bike nights, you need to do this, you need to do that. Listen to what they are telling you and do that, because that is what's going to get you to where you need to go. And it can take months. And it took us almost 7 months to finish completely into our hard colors. So keep that in mind. It is a long process and it is hard, but it is doable and you can do it. I did it. So just keep that in mind moving forward. So you did your probation, you did all those other steps that was required. Now what? Now you're in your hard colors. Now what do? You don't stop. You don't stop. That's the key one. The key. You don't stop. Your work does not stop the minute you put that back patch on. You have to continue to go out there and fellowship and make rapport and show yourself, make sure people know who you are, what you stand for, and build these relationships with all these MCs, because those MCs will be your brothers and your sisters and will help you along the way. You will learn so much from them, and hopefully you might teach them something that they might not know. So it is a big family. So you might have your motorcycle club, but there is such a huge family out there, and use that. So yes, we worked hard to get in our patch. We worked hard to earn this patch, but that work is still not over. Now it's time to go out. It's time to get some prospects, time to build your club, get new members in your club. So the work is never over, and it should never be over, because you never stop learning. So that is the steps. It's very easy steps. I don't want to go into too much details because I think it takes up too much time. If you have a question, maybe I'll make a video on it. And you probably have tons of questions how a female was able to start a motorcycle club. And it is a co-ed club, so we do have both male and female fully patched members, rather they're backpackers or riders of their own motorcycles. So I'm sure you have tons of questions just on that aspects of how a female was able to start a motorcycle club. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for staying tuned. And I hope I can make a lot more videos on the subject and more about my club in the future. If you, again, are new to my channel, please subscribe, hit that like button, comment. I love reading your guys' comments, and I love replying to your guys' comments. And again, thank you guys for being here and supporting me and supporting my journey. I have a lot going on in my life, and I love to share it with you guys. But until next time, peace.